This is Voices of the City podcast, and today's guest is Devarion Blount, the owner and operator of Blount Beginnings. And today we talk about everything from housing to homelessness to men's mental health. And so kick back, listen to the interview. It's very insightful. Again, Voices of the City podcast with my guest today, Devarion Blount. Well, we're here, man.
We're here.
I'm happy to have you. Been talking to you for a while now about joining us on Voices of the City because, you're a solid brother and happy that you had a chance to kind of stop by and talk today.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it being here.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So, just want to kind of start the interview off, man, by just one to one, heart to heart, letting you know that I'm proud of the work you're doing out here. We've been rocking since you started.
Right.
I was trying to think before the interview, when was my first time meeting you? Do you remember our first meeting?
I want to say it was before COVID.
It was in passing. There was something
It
happened.
was.
It was in passing.
It was.
But since then, man, I see you all over the place, and I just want to let you know that you're doing good work out here, man.
Thank
So I appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm following good footsteps.
Hey, man, you got it. You got
Following
it.
good footsteps.
So you started from humble beginnings. Obviously, you have a story of your own, and so if people don't know about Blunt Beginnings,
Right.
what's the first thing you wanted to know about who you are and Blunt Beginnings?
I'm just a person.
Yeah.
That's it. I think sometimes when you start a business or organization or you take position of power from whatever standpoint, people see you differently.
Mhm.
The whole time you just a person.
Yeah.
I mess up like everybody else. For me, Blunt Beginnings was something that I'm sure God put me in that place. One being homeless in 2018. My
That was
wife
pretty
and I,
recent.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 2018, man. My wife and I was working two jobs. I was an account manager at a Bennett distribution and working as hotel hospital security at nighttime. Uh, my wife is in school. She had just had a baby. Man, we were struggling. We were struggling. We were trying to keep everything going. I know the true definition of robbing Peter to pay Paul.
It's a whole nother story. We can talk
Man,
about that for a whole nother day.
so understanding like how all of that transition, being homeless, reaching out to organizations, and I remember people specifically stopping us and not really helping because we didn't meet the narrative of what they needed to work with, right? I didn't have a criminal background history. We weren't on drugs. I had a job. My wife was in school. Just man, the end of the month, bills was more than what was bringing in.
Mm.
And but I mean, out of it all though, learning throughout the process helped me, right? Learning through different organizations, talking to people, coming to meetings, sitting down and listening to people like you and everybody else that are really out here trying to make a difference. Yeah, it's definitely been a foundation of what Blunt Beginners is. Because 4 years ago, I wasn't the same person.
So you're from Augusta though, right?
Warrenton, Georgia.
Warrenton.
Warrenton.
Warrenton. I don't know why I thought you were from Augusta. You have this Augusta, like,
Oh man,
you look, man, we was talking about Augusta before we started. You gotta be special to be from Augusta, to make it in
for
Augusta.
sure.
Augusta is a totally different animal.
Nah, man. Georgia Southern. I had some great friends down at Georgia Southern, uh, that I met,
Uh-huh.
and ironically, everybody was from Augusta. So for years, every time someone went on in Augusta, whether it was what's the thing y'all had at May Park? Power Fest.
Mayfest and Power Fest. Yeah.
Right? Coming down to that every year. Y'all had the classics.
The city class, city ball games. Yeah.
So like me coming to all these events, I'm like, man, Augusta's booming.
Yeah.
Augusta got a lot of stuff going, and this was all through college. So um, working in the prison system after college, I ended up working at Augusta State Medical Prison. And when I started working up at the federal prison in 13, uh, after leaving there, man, I ended up making my way back down here when I met my wife. So
Yeah.
that was it, man. So
Okay.
I've been here since what, 2016.
Okay. Okay.
So it's Augusta is basically home at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something about the city to where when you get a taste of it, you either love it or you hate it. But we keep coming back for more for some reason, right?
I
It's just
think
something about it.
there's a lot of people that always return back to Augusta.
Yeah.
And, you always try to ask, "Well, why you come back? If you hate it so much, why you come back?"
It's home,
Home.
it just feels like home.
It is.
We won't talk about Statesboro because I remember coming down to Statesboro to see my Southern friends too, hanging out at Gators and stuff like that, but
Oh, yeah.
we'll leave that one for another show.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm glad that you made it in, but
yeah.
you mentioned you're from Warrenton.
Mhm.
So what was home like in Warrenton for you?
Man, completely different than Augusta. Uh, Small,
Mhm.
right? You had to be, ethically bound to be in a small town where you got one grocery store. We had Girlies
Girl,
back then,
yeah, yeah.
right? We had Girlies. We had one convenience store. It was not Dollar General or Family Dollar. It was like your hometown convenience store. And at the time, we had a middle and high school and elementary school. But like now,
Mhm.
our K through 12 is in one school, right? We
Really?
still got this one red light. Um, so growing up in Warrenton, man, it was like you had to be who you were.
Mhm.
Like you couldn't be one person in one place and somebody else somewhere else. You had to be who you were. And I tell anybody, I didn't grow up in the hood. I ain't grow up in the private. I grew up country.
You grew up in Warrenton.
Right? Like I grew up,
Yeah.
I didn't even have a curfew growing up. Never had I just knew when to get home.
Yeah.
Um, you you knew you was in the country when you could go to the gas station and not have money, but they knew your parents.
Good to go.
And they were just like, "Go ahead and get your gas. I get it from your mom."
Mhm.
That's where I grew up.
You would consider that a real sense of
That's it.
community.
That's it.
Everybody
And
know everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
And so, but with that, everybody held everybody to a certain standard,
Yeah.
right? Like today's society, man, you got cats out here, they just kind of living free will. There's no respect factor to your elders anymore. Elders don't know how to be elders anymore.
Mhm.
And I say that not in a age bracket, but more so just respecting themselves with the wisdom that they've grown to understand throughout years. And so that's the difference of what I see from our generation
Mhm.
to the next generation.
Yeah.
Stuff is just so far off. Warrenton don't even seem like Warrenton no more. I went to a football game 2 years ago. Me and my family trying to go and see what I wanted to show them all of what goes on after the football game. Just shooty. Just
Totally different.
everything is just different.
And so I guess that's one of the main concerns, that we have in a lot of different areas. Is just really this whole sense of how do you build that community that we're trying to really create,
Yeah.
where regardless of your background, you can get a home or you can get a nice job, you can go to a public space.
Right.
I think a lot of it really centers around people understanding, like what role they play in building the community. I mean, I will never forget this, man. Never forget it. We had breakfast at the brunch house, and
Mhm.
ever since we had breakfast, I get my French toast the same way you get yours, and so all the weight I put on, I blame you
Yeah.
for that at the brunch house. But you had just left the hospital because your wife had just given birth maybe that night before, or a
Mhm.
day or so before.
Mhm.
So you just brought a baby in this world, but
Mhm.
you were still at that table
Right.
advocating for the change that you were trying to see.
Right.
What does that look like in other places? What does that look like for a place like Warrenton? How do we, as young people in our communities,
Right.
really just kind of grab the bull by the horns and just slang it, man? I don't think that we understand fully the power that we really have.
This is me. This is just me telling you from my
Yeah.
standpoint. I feel like right now people are kind of everyone's trying to be ahead,
Mm.
right? Everyone wants to be
Get the credit and all. Yeah.
they want to get the recognition,
Mhm.
but I think we went from a point of standardized steps to now we're using the handicap ramp,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And
Dig into that a little bit.
so when you have a step is more stable,
Mhm.
right? If you got a side rail and you step on a step, it's a flat platform. If you on a ramp, anything can deter you from backsliding on that ramp.
Mm.
Everybody's on a ramp right now
Mm.
because any small thing can make that uphill battle a little bit different. With that step, as long as you stabilize your foot, you can carry that next foot on up.
Mm.
A lot of the conversations are afraid to be had because no one wants to offend any groups of people.
Mm.
And right now, I just think that if we can all lose the ego, you gotta have self pride. Self pride is something I feel like went out the window for a lot of people a long time ago.
Mm,
But we're trying to get it back. But now we have an ego about what we have because we have our self pride back. And so now that we get in the presence of other people, I feel like sometimes we don't see that they're just trying to find their way back to their self pride. And instead of us assisting them or giving them what we might have used without pushing them to take it, kind of like religion
mhm,
in
mhm.
some sort,
Yeah, yeah.
it allow me to accept what I want to accept.
They gotta pick
Not
it up.
accept, yeah.
Yeah,
I might not accept everything, but we're all on the same path. But I might not travel my path like you.
yeah.
I think that's where everything is. No one wants to be. Everything is so scrutinized. It's under a microscope now. Every job you have. Before, my grandfather has always been a custodian and a bus driver.
Is
Always.
he still living?
Still lives.
Still living.
My granddad is 80 years old
Wow.
this year,
Wow.
and we can't get him to quit driving the bus. And I understand why, but we have lost all respect of respecting other people.
Mm,
My granddad cleaned schools and drove school buses. I not once had any bullying about what my grandfather did. My best friend's mom does the same thing. We never went through that. Again, we weren't the top shots out there. We weren't top popular people,
mhm.
just regular guys. So it was just a standard that my grandparents carried. We lived within our means. We did what we had to do in the community. And I just feel like now no one is traveling that same path. Everyone is living outside of their means. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses, but then they're afraid to let people know who they really are.
Mm, mm.
Just left Wellstar. They got plenty of custodial positions over there. 16, $18 an hour. If you add that 16 to $18 an hour plus something else that you can make and not be afraid of somebody to send you over there, go get that job.
And you see, and that's a good segue because we were just talking about Augusta having about a 24% poverty rate.
Mhm,
People who are working or people who work but don't make enough.
mhm,
But then you also have half of the community living in poverty, and those are the people who are working but maybe not working enough.
mhm,
And I know a centerpiece for the program that you run at Blunt Beginnings is centered around employment
right,
and jobs.
right.
So how do you connect the values that you're talking about now in and the employment
Sure.
piece with what you're doing at Blunt Beginnings?
So throughout this whole thing, I did have a small staffing period in my life. While we're at a staffing, I was a sales manager, recruiter. So understanding in those back office conversations what people are looking for, with the guys that are coming out into my program, you have to learn who that person is targeted to. Right? I can't bring them out and send them over to Wellstar with that being their first job,
Mhm.
especially with the background. The BitSide program, which is our Back in the Swing of Things program, is specifically built to help each individual overcome whatever they feel like or whatever we can find out through an assessment how to help you.
Whatever barrier they have, you're
Like,
helping to break
so
that. Yeah.
whether it's if it's they don't have job skills, that's specifically what the BitSide is. We put you in a position to learn a skill.
Mm.
Two of the guys who graduated our program 4 years ago, and they were the first two guys to actually come into the BitSide program. One is a contractor at Bridgestone. The other is he used to be a forklift supervisor at not Textron. What's the other one?
The other one, Easy Go?
Easy
Easy
Go,
Go, yeah.
right? And so
Or Club Car.
Club Card,
Yeah,
that's it,
yeah, yeah,
Club
yeah,
Card.
Club Car. I get them all mixed up.
Yeah, and when I tell you, like, even recently, he just moved into another apartment, right? That shows that it isn't we just got you gotta get people to trust in you again,
Mm.
right? You gotta get the employers to trust that you're gonna come in and do a great job, but then be here for a time enough to be able to say, "He was a great hire."
So the gentlemen at Blunt Beginnings, they were either incarcerated and released with no plan for housing and jobs, or they were homeless and have been looking for
Even worse.
housing and jobs.
Yes, sir.
How does somebody find their way to Blunt Beginnings? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Referrals, man. That's typically what I do within the community. I go out and I just try to make sure I'm in front of people all the time.
Mhm.
So when I'm stopping in, just telling somebody, "Hey, I'm saying, hey, but I'm just trying to make sure I stay on your radar so you'll know, hey, yeah, we do got some openings available. Because it's kind of how a lot of stuff happen
Yeah.
anyway. We go somewhere, and in the midst of me stopping there, like, you know what? I forgot to reach out to you. I got this guy. And then we start from there. We do work with the DOC, Department of Corrections. So the Department of Corrections, the Department of Community Supervision, they all provide referrals to individuals to our program also. But I try to make sure I let people know straightforward,
Straight out
like,
the gate. Yeah.
this isn't a you're not gonna get a participation trophy here, right? It's not what this is about. You're gonna put in the work and the effort because when you're done, I'm putting in that same work and effort while you're giving me that time frame, and then afterwards also till I get you stable.
Mhm.
Too many times I'm seeing right now is like people just don't have an idea of what they want to do, so it's hard to start. Kind of like I don't. You went to college.
Mhm. I did.
Okay. Do you know what you wanted to go to college for?
No, I didn't. Well, when I got out of high school, I thought I was gonna be a journalist. But I mean, I came back to it. You kind of still in there. Yeah.
So so when I graduated from Warrenton, I wanted to go and get my kinesiology degree.
Mhm.
Right. Like I knew I wanted to do something within sports.
Mhm.
I knew that. And man, let me tell you something. It went south fast.
Yeah.
I found out quickly that this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And
And what happened with me in journalism?
now once that went south, man, it was like, what am I gonna do in college now? I
Mm.
didn't. I wish I would have. And this is where I ask questions for now because I didn't go to the admissions office
Yeah.
and just tell them like, look, I don't know what to do because I'm sure someone would have guided me.
Mhm.
I just decided on my own, like, you know what? I ain't going to class next week.
Hmm.
Next week turned into 2 weeks. 2 week turned into a month.
Yeah. And then you just leave campus and
Now,
forgot about the whole
now
goal.
is there.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
was not the there I look back and I said that was some of the most time wasted and enjoyable times I ever had in my life.
wasted time and good time.
Yeah, it was
But
great.
it cost you money too, right? Yeah.
Cost my granddad a lot of money.
I'm telling you, man, we need to have a talk about kids staying focused in college, but that's a different show.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, I tell Jory all the time because she's getting ready to go to college. And I'm like, if you don't want to go, don't waste my
Don't
money.
go.
If you don't want to go, don't go.
Don't go.
But
Yeah.
I'm encouraging her to get out of here. But
Think, man, but that kind of goes back to kind of what we on also the
yeah.
kind of with the workforce. Right now, we got a workforce area between like 18 and 20
Hmm.
with kids that just graduated. Their parents don't really know how to align them to get to where they know that they can be more successful.
Yeah.
Just and you say you want a real, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna see real.
Yeah.
When I'm up at the Salvation Army throughout the summer, and I see all these kids that are coming in and they're volunteering their time throughout the summer. These are the same kids that get to put that on their resumes when they go into college.
Right.
A lot of kids don't look like us,
Yeah.
right?
Really?
A lot of kids don't. I don't think know that it's accessible, right? For us, it's just more so like, oh, I want to go give out some food for the homeless on Thanksgiving. It's like, no, they
This is helping them get to the next point.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but if we can get our kids open to more opportunities,
Mm.
I think our workforce will be so different.
So what does that look like? We always talk about what we want to see our community be.
Yeah.
We talk about Augusta all the time. We just we everyone has an idea and a vision for like what
Mhm.
the future should be. But, we know that all kids aren't going to go to college.
Mhm.
All kids might not want to go to a four-year institution. In your mind, what does that look like? And that being moving kids into the future or moving the,
We
the
got
men that you have in the future, like,
we got to get the parents involved. That's it. We got to get the parents back in there.
yeah.
I don't know how your parents was, but my grandma and granddaddy was at everything.
Yeah, my mama was involved and
Yes.
she didn't miss a recital or a
So
honors day,
we
nothing.
couldn't skip school. We
Yeah.
couldn't mess up.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Jordan, we ain't gonna put that out there. We gonna study in substitute. I can't. Right up say we didn't skip school. We gonna say, listen, we're gonna say we were in class every single day we was supposed to.
Yeah, 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 I was in
So
class every day I was supposed to be.
the thing is, man, like parents don't show up like they used to.
Mhm.
When you had your orange thing over, how many people showed up? It should have been packed.
Yeah, yeah.
That whole area down there should have been packed.
My mama was there for that too.
She was there.
Shout out to
But
my mama.
again, shout out to mom. Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
mom.
mama.
Um,
But you're right, you're right.
but that's it, man. We got to get the parents back involved because the parents can show the kids that they care.
Mhm.
Most of the kids is really trying to make the parents happy.
Do you think that right now parents are just are more so focusing on putting bread on the table and just keeping things going. I wonder how, because I'm not a parent,
Mhm,
right? So I really try not to speak on parenthood because I'm not
mhm.
a parent. I'm gonna ask you about that later. But, it just kinda feels like everybody's just out here trying to survive at this point, which is where, like, my whole question earlier came about, like, what role do we play in just in getting out of this survival mode to really flipping the table? I don't think people really understand
Right.
that they can flip the table. They
Yeah,
can flip the switch,
yeah,
and whatever you want to happen
yeah,
can happen, like,
yeah,
you're that powerful.
yeah.
But I think about the parents, the mamas in East Augusta that I talk to, man,
Yeah.
they're just trying to work and put the food on
Put
the
food on the
table.
table, pay rent.
Yeah, man, it's kinda hard for them, and
But,
even they had barriers
it's the
growing up.
other stuff too though, man.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's the phone bill,
Yeah.
right? It's the
Yeah.
my son really wanna go to this basketball camp.
Yeah.
But then now in the back of your mind, like he go to this camp, I gotta make sure he got good shoes
Yeah.
because I don't want him to be picked at. I
Yeah.
don't want to shoot. So
It's one thing after the other.
man,
Yeah.
it's a combination of it.
Yeah.
It's almost like compound interest, man.
Yeah.
It's like you start off with one simple thing, and before you know, it's just so complex that it's just too much for somebody to handle. That's what. Now I will say, out of my program, the guys that come into my program, the moment that you say you have a kid, I'm all kid focused.
Okay.
Everything you do is gonna be to get yourself back into that kid's life. Cause hey man, hey, I got a son that I don't get to see.
Yeah.
Understand, my brother, I struggle with that every day. But I also struggle with you just gotta know how you can reach out to somebody and how not.
Yeah.
I miss him
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
but I understand what I'm doing now will give him the opportunity to come here and say, "Damn, like this is what my dad was doing."
Yeah. My dad laying bricks.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he went out here just fumbling through stuff. So that's where a lot of my, I guess, aggression comes from. Like this is meaningful for me. Right. In the event that something happens to me in my life, I want my kids to be able to say, like, I want to keep that going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it's more. Me and Tia
Well,
getting our daughter ready when she
how old is she now? How old is baby girl?
man, she just turned 7.
Yeah.
Man, she snuck a jacket in her book bag. And I keep looking at the book bag. I'm like, why this it's a
Serious.
big at top. That's why you taking she was like, one of my friends don't have a jacket every day and it be cold in class.
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
take the jacket.
She already
Take
knows.
the jacket.
Yeah.
I can see it. My kids don't even listen to music with cousin in it.
Yeah.
I can see what I'm doing. They're completely different than me,
Yeah.
but it's what I show them.
Yeah. Well, I think people view your passion as aggression.
For sure.
I mentioned at the earlier part of the
Yeah.
interview, we had our run-ins,
Yeah.
right? We were never like
No.
angry, aggressive with each other.
No.
Never like that
No.
with each other. I mean,
Misinformation.
yeah, people just like to talk.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the time was never there for us to be able to actually come in
Yeah.
and talk because I mean, I just told somebody this recently, like, there's no one in Augusta I don't like.
Yeah.
I might not like their motive. Like, I know we're trying to get to the same goal.
Mhm.
We just got different paths.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at somebody's path, you're like, man, why he do that?
Yeah.
But your path ain't my path.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to start to understand about this world.
Yeah.
Right? What we're doing, we're all trying to make sure we're helping people.
Yeah.
But everybody's just doing it in their
It's
own
a
way.
different
And
thing.
I'm not the subject matter expert in being a commissioner or anything political.
Yeah.
You are.
Sometimes. This is an ever learning pro Let me tell you something, man. When you started Blunt Beginnings and when you were out here really hustling and getting it going, I think we had just created a homeless task force. That's probably when we first met. You came to a task force meeting.
Linda Ball.
Or Linda Bars.
Yeah.
God bless Linda Bars.
Yeah.
And I very rarely tell the story, but man, that homeless task force creation was like putting Mentos in a Coca-Cola bottle and just shaking that mug up.
It's just going there.
And it was just like, "Oh my god, I don't know what's going on here."
Yeah.
And so, a lot of the conversations were always, like, in passing,
Mhm.
but there were certain organizations that you knew
Mhm.
really had the heart for the people, and there were organizations that you just kinda knew were there because this is the next big thing in town,
Next thing coming up.
and you always fit the description of, like, really having a heart for people, and, again, I'm just gonna say it, and, I don't really care who get mad at nothing that I say. Um Sometimes people like you don't have a place in certain circles.
Yeah.
Like if your passion is
Yeah.
not attached to like a motive,
Yeah.
it's like, what
Yeah.
is he all about? But no, you had that in you and you still do, which is why I'm just so curious to like know how do you balance what you do at Blunt? How do you balance being a father?
For sure.
How do you balance your stories?
Transparency.
Yeah.
I'd say it straight up.
Yeah.
The guys in my program, because man, we got guys in our houses. We got guys in one of the houses. They literally are just there because we're just trying to increase their Social Security
Mm.
or their disability to meet a certain goal or certain amount to be able to get into one of these subsidized houses. Coming from like this side of stuff, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. For the first few years, it was hard. It was hard navigating how to like leave what had happened at the houses when I left and then go home and be dad or be husband or be son or whatever, because I was always talking about it.
Right.
It was in it. I caught myself one time like, hey, all I ever do is talk about
That's your life.
it. Yeah.
It takes over you.
But the
Really.
thing is, that's when I started to more so explain to the guys sometimes, like, hey man, listen, I doubt if I'll be there the next day or so, man. My daughter's birthday this day, or man, we're gonna be taking a trip here. And is to be able to show them like, hey, you gotta create those boundaries.
Yeah.
Weekend, there's nothing really much you can do on the weekend.
Mhm.
So on the weekends, if the guys need me, I'm always a call away. But they know weekends are specifically for my family.
Yeah.
Shoot, people at the even office, people at the office even ask, like, when do you take a vacation? I'm like, when I can.
I can spell
Yeah.
vacation. That's about it.
Like, there has been times where we just didn't put anybody in the houses just because I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I can go somewhere now. Like
Mhm.
I can take a break now.
Mhm.
But then when I get back, it's like, all right, now I got to start finding people that meet what we're trying to have in the houses and then get them started.
Yeah.
Having kids, that's been difficult because I've been scrutinized because I've picked people up before coming directly out of prison, and I might have had one of my kids with me. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not the Billy Bad but out of the community, but the fact that you think something would happen to me and my daughter
Yeah.
is cold with somebody else.
Ain't nobody bothering you.
Yeah, like you gotta have a set on you to come in my car,
Yeah.
cause I'm gonna fill you up with something before you get out,
Yeah.
and it ain't gonna be water.
Ain't nobody bothering you.
No, it's not gonna be water. But I always, and I have a discernment for that, right? Even one of the guys in my house is now. I remember picking him up a few months ago. I made a video getting my daughter's hair ready because I did it because I was nervous. I did it because I was nervous. I'm like, man, bus ain't bringing me to Augusta. I gotta go to Thompson. So I'm looking at my daughter. I'm like, I don't want to go to Thompson, but I started doing her hair and I started recording it, and nobody had any understanding. I was just doing her hair because I was nervous, because that was the first time I would have ever put anyone around her coming to my
Yeah.
program,
Yeah.
and this guy coming straight out of prison.
Yeah.
But when I got there and I shook his hand, I said, okay,
We good. Yeah.
come on the front seat. We came back, and he been with us since then,
Yeah.
right? You can't do that with everybody.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Right? And I know that. I think sometimes people don't realize, like, you have an understanding of who you can look at somebody sometimes like, no,
Mhm.
you just ain't right.
Mhm. Well, that's an important part about being connected spiritually
You
to
do.
whatever you
Yes,
connected
sir.
to, and you also have to have your mental health intact.
Yeah.
So I mean, how do you keep that in
Counseling,
okay,
therapy,
okay,
therapy.
let's go there
Yes, sir.
because as Black men, we don't go to therapy. Last time I went to therapy, my therapist laughed at me. Every Friday. You didn't have to laugh that hard with us.
Yeah.
Every Friday, man, we would talk and she would cover her mouth like that to keep from laughing, but therapy saved my life.
I think therapy is here to save a lot of people. People are just afraid of what it is.
Yeah.
Especially men, especially Black men.
Yeah.
We're
So you
no,
go to counseling, you go to
okay.
therapy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say just Black men, white men too. No one wants to be told something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
No one wants to be able to give someone the true side of what it really is. We just end up connecting the guys with channeled paths. You got Mr. Warren Mobley's over there. He used to
Mhm.
be over at Salvation Army.
Okay.
And he and I met this week, and so we're gonna start setting up where our guys are gonna actually get therapy. Not this isn't counseling, this ain't group counseling, they getting therapy
One-on-one. Yeah.
because they need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah.
We spend all day as men fighting to get home. And for some men, they fight when they get home.
That's right. That's right.
And then once they get back out, now they taking all that in his back. They putting all that onto the community.
Mhm.
I genuinely think that we need to have more therapists in the community to help people be more comfortable with coming to therapy. I mean, the people that have jobs, we already got enough on us. We're trying to maintain bills, maintain relationship,
Mhm.
maintain driving on these roads.
Mhm.
Like, man, anything can take somebody.
Simple things. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
having somebody, knowing that one day out of the week or one day every 2 weeks, you got somebody to tell everything to.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily your wife or your girlfriend or
Nope.
I mean, and I know your wife probably get frustrated when you don't talk to her, but I think the biggest thing though that folks need to understand about men and mental health is just you asking me, "How you doing today?" "I'm good. How you doing?" You know? And that "I'm good" might mean good, but,
I'm a second time person.
yeah,
People that know me come out, "You really alright?"
yeah,
Usually when you hit them with that, "You really alright?" It comes back like, "Things could be better."
yeah.
And when they say it with a smile, I know that smile got a lot
Good.
behind it.
Yeah,
But we understand we have to do this. Kinda like you mentioned earlier, like going home and talking to my wife. You gotta kinda know when to say something,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Whether it's wife, friend, whatever, sometimes they facial expression and their body can tell you they ain't ready to bear what you got going on.
mm,
They bearing their own stuff.
yeah,
My best friend, Ivan, man, his son passed last year in January.
mm,
Throughout that whole situation, I can't it's so many times I call him and I be wanting to just tell him, "Man, guess what's going on, bro?" And then when he pick up the phone, it's that slight undertone of something I hear.
you could tell.
Yeah, I don't even say nothing about
Yeah,
what I got. Cause now I'm like, bro, what you got going on? Now it's a whole conversation because I'm trying to figure out your side,
yeah,
right? Because for me, death is something that just supersedes a lot because it's finite.
yeah,
That's where I know life changed for me last year. For my kids, everything. I looked at stuff completely different.
mhm,
Even about my responses to people within the community changed because I realized you're not saying this because you're trying to attack me. You're saying it because that's the only way you know how to communicate what you really feel.
mhm,
So now I need to learn how to respond to you. So things have changed a lot since January of last year, and I'm glad of it. I hate that that had to happen for me to start looking at myself, but I do take that as being a pivotal turn in my life where I'm like, you know what? Let me do better.
yeah. You have to prioritize your mental health over
Mhm.
everything, and people don't really understand how complicated the mind is.
Yeah.
I mean, but you have to exercise it. You have to
Mhm.
really take, intentional steps to keep your mental
Mhm.
health intact, and I'm telling you, man, I have seen people come and go,
Right.
and the difference between those who remain and those who don't is that they're intentional about taking care of themselves physically, mentally, and
Yes,
everything.
sir.
And so, I mean, you could have done anything else. You could have stayed at the Department of Corrections. You could have stayed at the medical prison. You
Yeah.
could have stayed in security. You
Right.
could have you could have done it all,
Right.
but you chose to
Mhm.
really just plant into helping other people. There has to be a backstory to that because you don't just do it just
Mhm.
because you want to do it. This is nonprofit work is hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's nonprofit for a reason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is that backstory? I mean, we've talked about you being a father and a husband, but
I mentioned
that's
my
gotta be
grandparents
something.
early,
Yeah.
and that's where it's at.
Yeah.
I never even first of all, my grandparents have had jobs. I told you my granddaddy was a custodian and he was a bus driver. He had a lot of free time throughout the day.
Mhm.
It was the combination of, like, my grandparents being so accessible to come to all of my events growing up, but it kinda rolls into when I worked for the Department of Corrections, I was a really horrible person. Um, man, I went through a bunch. Because I was so young, I was placed into certain positions, and I wasn't given the proper training to understand how to navigate with having that type of authority. And so when I got to that place of being able to have to talk to an officer, it was more so like, I'm just talking to another person that's in prison. I ain't even seen you as nothing else. Cause in my mind, I'm like, I might be walking you out there next week anyway. I
Mm,
don't trust you.
mm,
And then I got over on the CERT team. And then now everybody get blue with something different. And then I started working over at the federal prison at Edgefield, and it was completely different.
hmm. Was it because of the environment, or do you think something changed within you to
No,
kinda
definitely the environment. So
definitely environment?
in the state prison, oh man, the state prison, you got about 5 minutes to sit down and eat. And, you know, we hope you can eat in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just it. And getting over to the federal prison, that was a different animal. They could sit there as long as they chose to and take their time and eat. It was the way that you had to the way that you were taught to communicate with the people in prison, right? Over at the federal prison in the state. It was different. And I think during that time frame, I started to look at how I acted before and realize it was a lot of that was uncalled for. A lot of stuff I did was just I could honestly say at that period of time I was not a good person.
Mm,
I feel like I've always been a great father, but I've not always been a great person.
mm,
And that has happened periodically throughout times in life. That's why a lot I pray for now is to remain humble. And I pray that I'm humble as possible, but Blunt Beginnings is like a foundation of all things that I've been through in my life. And I just realized like, man, like if somebody can just help this person get this, it'll be a lot more simple for them. And I've seen that all growing up.
yeah.
My grandparents, someone might not have had X, Y, and Z or a way to get the kid to school. My granddad would stop and stay an extra bit just because he know your grandma on a walker and she the one bring you to the road. My granddaddy would leave. My granddaddy left me plenty of time. Plenty of times. I'm running up the road to catch the bus, and he would ride right past.
Helping other people.
No,
No,
I
just
went in the right place at
you
the right
there
time.
you go,
Yeah,
there you go.
that was all me.
You messed up.
Um, but everything that he did, my grandmother was a personal caretaker. All she did all my life was take care of people. Over and beyond. Like she would go in to work 9 to 5, and God forbid the next person didn't come in at 7, 8 o'clock for whatever reason. She ain't even charge her to stay. She just like, no, I sit around here with it and
Mhm.
seeing that, it was like, man, like my family gives, but I've never known. Like I said, I've never known what it feels like to not have water, electricity,
Yeah,
a vehicle like I've always had.
yeah.
So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, my granddaddy taught it's better to have and not need than need and not have, and that's what I try to teach through everything we do with Blunt Begin is like we want stuff. Everyone desires a lot, but what do we need right now? Everything that I'm doing is stuff that I feel like people need.
Mhm.
I'm always open for people to come in from the community and give me a different perspective of why I might want to do something different. But sit down with me, understand why, and then you'll be able to see it might have been different for that person that you saw me interact with, and not for everyone that comes through.
Yeah. It's as if people just need a hand up. We always say that people need a hand up and not a
Not
hand
hand
out.
out,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I think sometimes we can give people so many handouts.
yeah.
The, do not
Look,
jump on me when I say this. I know it's there for a reason,
it's coming.
but even with the whole rental assistance thing,
Mhm. Well,
that's crazy. Like
let me sit back.
to see it open and close in that short period of time, that tells me that a lot of people went down there.
Yes,
But there are a lot of people who are homeless right now.
yes.
And I don't even think people really understand the magnitude of what homelessness really is. Homelessness is I work, my kids go to school or they go to daycare, but we just stay at a family member's house or a friend's house. That's the homelessness that we have right now.
Yeah.
I urge people don't get caught looking in nobody's car. But when you go to Dollar General, Family Dollar, look inside people's cars. You can see in the
They're
car
sleeping in the cars.
they sleeping in the
Yeah,
cars.
look,
Like people are really
yeah,
homeless right now.
yeah.
And I don't know if the community is ready to say we ain't doing this good alone.
Mhm.
I would love to see people partner. And me and Mr. Randy and yourself and
Right?
everybody else, I think once people understand, like, okay, I'm not gonna get whatever grant money that I thought was gonna come out, right? Because now the federal government now went to wherever.
Mhm.
So maybe instead of me only helping 50 people, if I partner with that organization, they're helping 50. Well, if I can teach what I teach the best to 100, I still meet my numbers. But I think people in this area are so afraid of being left out,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
That's why people in the community are struggling.
yeah.
Everyone's afraid of being left out.
There's enough food on the table for everybody to eat.
Way
Just grab your piece of it. Yeah, yeah,
Jordan, it's
yeah.
way more than
So much more. But you're right. That rental assistance program, um, had to close as soon as it did because the office was just completely flooded with
yeah.
applications, which shows you that there's a need in our community. And I'm telling you, man, I'm getting ready to get into my last night soapbox again. Um, if you don't know, you'll know. Um, I harp on this all the time that if we ever wanna see anything change around poverty, it's gonna cost money.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost money.
Yeah.
It's gonna take efforts. It's
Right.
gonna take ideas and
Right.
collaboration,
Right.
which is why you have to have people in office
Mhm.
who care about
Mhm.
people and have people in organizations
Mhm.
like yours
Mhm.
who are not afraid to come to the table and work with the folks in office or even outside to
Mhm.
say, "Hey, this is your perception of the
Right.
homeless and those in need.
Right. Right.
Here's the reality.
Right.
The person who's working for you at your company might also be eating at the Salvation Army
That's
and
it.
you wouldn't even know it."
Won't even know it.
I remember we had a election cycle, 2 last election cycle,
Uh,
and one of the young men who was working for us was, sleeping in his car at night. Did not know that until the end of the cycle. This
yep.
man was sleeping in his car. One of the young ladies who was working with us was couch surfing between employees at the organization.
Mhm.
And we're paying a decent
That yeah.
wage, and it still wasn't enough for her and her children, and it wasn't enough for him.
Those compound issues I was telling you about,
Poverty tax.
like
Yeah,
like when you got you gotta if you're a felon,
yeah.
right? You're a felon, and then not only you're a felon, but let's say you're a felon and then you got subprime credit. Now you a felon with subprime credit, and then let's say you working a job that ain't paying but $14 an hour.
Under the table at that, right?
Under man,
Because 'Cause you're a felon.
'cause
Alright. Yes.
you those compound issues roll directly into homelessness. Whether you're male, female, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
yeah.
When you start adding other issues, and don't even start talking about the other side of being physically ill, right? Because sometimes, or mentally ill, right? Because physically ill, we can see some people are physically hurt. Some people are hurt up here and they don't even know it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You got the different drugs out here right now. It's it's worse. I think it's worse than it ever been because now people don't care. It's all about a money thing, right? And kind of like we discussed earlier,
Yeah.
it's all about self. But I don't I with the young man and the young woman that you had working in your organization, I guarantee if the Board of Education, if Piedmont, Wellstar, uh, uh, I'll even stretch this out over at the municipal building. If they were to do a what is it called? Like an assessment or just to be able to see and find out who in
What the
the
need is. Yeah.
right, are homeless,
Yeah.
they'll be surprised at how many people are just trying to make it every single day.
Oh, man, look, we had city employees in the rental assistance line.
Easily.
I mean,
But they need it. And it ain't because
yeah,
it ain't and sometimes it's easy to just get behind.
yeah.
It's easy to get behind. Once you get behind, it's just hard to catch up.
Mhm.
Like I told them, we were homeless, man, please. Oh God. I would call my insurance company and be like, "Hey," I'll tell my wife, look, you're gonna get your own insurance company because that way if I can't pay mine one month, I can pay yours and we
Right,
just fluctuate.
right.
Bro, I don't think people even understand how bad their lives really are until someone actually puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that in order to kind of start getting your way out of it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so with what you're doing within the downtown community, you didn't know Wellstar has a program right now specifically focused on individuals in the 30901 to come up and get jobs up at the hospital. Just left that today. But it took money to offer the training to get them to do it,
It's gonna cost money.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who needs to hear that. I don't know who needs to see that, but it's gonna take money. It's gotta take money. We can keep building whatever shelter we want to build, get as many case managers as we
It's
want to
not
get.
enough. It's
It's
not enough. It's not enough.
but again, that goes back to we got a partner.
I'm tired of talking about shelters. I wanna talk about folks bringing money to the table
Mhm,
to help people who actually need it. And then, again, making sure that we know
mhm.
our role in all these things. Man, you, you gonna run for office one day?
Food no,
I knew the answer to that question.
no,
Why not?
no.
Now, mind you, we wanna encourage people to run,
For sure.
but what is your view on, being in public service?
Same reason I want to be a pastor. I don't. I know. I.
Never say never now.
I'm never gonna say never. Right now, God has not given me that steep. Right.
That's a good way to say
I did an evaluation on myself, uh, and I realized that my leading style was I'm an accountability person.
mhm.
You know how you post online and people come behind and say, Jordan, we're behind you 100%. I don't have that, but I'm the person that can tell 100 people, "Hey, you need to go and look at George's live right now because he got this going on. We need to support him." Or I'm that person.
Yeah.
I'm not the leader, I don't. I think people need to understand that about themselves. Like you need to know where you fit in life.
Yeah, it goes back to the beginning statements,
It,
where do we fit into this whole making change conversation?
so like when I look at like and people will put you against people without it being like Jackson. Man, listen,
Come on.
I've been knowing Jackson is literally like since he's brought this whole thing to Augusta, even before it became a big thing. Man, let me tell you something. Jackson has always been a leader. I mean, even coming from the military,
Mhm.
that's his skill.
Mhm.
He knows how to lead. He's had platoons of people behind him. I'm behind him.
Yeah,
Like
I'm behind him.
I done tell you something plenty of times. And then I think that's the thing that people don't realize. Like, you gotta know how to differentiate who you are in what circle.
Yeah,
Right? At the houses on Fifth, I'm a leader down there
yeah,
because I'm the primary person that they're looking at. But when I'm on the streets, I'm going to the leaders.
yeah,
Right? That's how we make this work. You got to know where you fit in. There's no way I'm never going to go up there and sit on the unless I'm appointed to that position. I will never go in there and sit in any seat on the commission meeting.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I'm sure I'll be arrested. I'm sure that'll happen. So man, it's like
You have immunity. They won't arrest you.
man,
But no,
listen,
but you're right though. So it's a place for everybody. But again, that goes back to us talking about knowing how you fit and making change.
yeah,
You have folks in elected office. You have activists. You have even like teachers and business leaders. There's
yeah,
always a place. Community leaders. There's a
yep,
place for you
yeah.
in making our community
Yeah.
better. And so I'm always interested in just kind of knowing what people think when it
Yeah,
come down to that.
and I'm not gonna run away from from your question about would I ever run for office or do anything politically wise. I don't think that I have. It's just not something that I want to do. I prefer to be there to stand along with the leaders and to be in the grassroots of things to be able to give real numbers
Yeah,
when people are asking.
yeah,
That's what I would prefer to do.
yeah,
And that way I know I can be a benefit to someone rather than trying to create the bill or whatever else has to be. I don't know all the jargons for it, but whatever has to happen in order for there to be complete change, I'd rather give people the data to say, hey, this is really what we're seeing.
yeah, yeah. Make the sausage
Right.
versus be the one to carry it. There you go. I got what you're saying.
So that's the
Yeah,
only reason,
yeah.
man.
I'm with you.
I fit better in that position.
Man, you're a smart man. You're a smart man. I told you I was 20, what,
Yeah.
5 or 6, and I don't remember anything like prior
Yeah.
to 30 years old. I'm just like everything's been a blur, but it's been worth it. But I
Think
think we should
but
get more people involved.
people would be real haters if they sat out here and said that they hadn't seen the progression from you in these last 3 years. Everybody's seen it.
Yeah, I appreciate
Everything is
I
changed.
appreciate you, man. I appreciate
Shoot,
you.
I mean, but that's people just got to give us time.
I think it's a matter of us all, just like you said earlier, coming together
That's
and
it.
pushing and pulling. It's
Yeah,
not about what one person's doing over the other.
yeah,
It's more so just about what is the collective vision and how can we get young people like ourselves
right.
involved. You're not 40 years old.
No,
No, you're not 40. I'm not 40.
yeah,
But it's okay. I ain't got nothing against 40-year-olds. But I'm saying like that 18 to 35,
yeah,
18 to 36 group,
yeah,
that's what a change is,
yeah.
man. That's
Now
what
to
a
get
change
now
is.
one person I can think is actually gonna make a change because he had times in the street. I think if we get behind the sheriff,
Yeah. If we get behind the sheriff, everybody behind the sheriff and
yeah,
dancing with him and,
everything.
yeah.
But he's not afraid to be out here,
Yeah.
and that's something big.
That matters.
Yeah,
That definitely matters.
it plenty of times I done seen him and his truck driving down the road during nighttime.
Yeah, it
It
matters.
matters.
Yeah, people wanna see their leaders.
They do.
Yeah.
They do, and I think some of the officers appreciate that also.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're getting the leaders in place that need to actually start making Augusta change,
Yeah.
but we gotta get everybody involved. We
Yeah.
gotta like I said, we gotta get the parents back out.
Yeah.
Gotta get them back involved. Gotta get them back in the schools or at these community events so they can see what's there with their kids beside them. Don't just send them up there.
Yeah.
Come and hear something because they only gonna know what they 16, 17-year-old mind can articulate. But if you're there, you can kind of give them a better understanding of what someone's saying. I'm proud to be a part of what Augusta is growing into. I'm just staying in my lane.
I hear that. I
That's
hear
what I
that.
do
So looking to the future,
for sure.
5 years, 10 years, next month, right? What can we expect from you? What's on the horizon for Blunt Beginnings? And not even just Blunt Beginnings. What's on the horizon for Devarion Blount, man?
Definitely taking what we're doing to a new city just to be able to collect additional data. Workforce housing is something we're really heavily focusing on right now. And a lot of people try to save the data, push it to the side. I want people to know that's what we're focusing on. Like I said, we got too many people out here that fit the narrative of people that I'm getting jobs that are homeless.
Hmm.
So we can provide some housing to these individuals, whether it's individuals or families, that's going to be able to create a different concept of what Augusta is.
Yeah,
Right. We got the masters, right? Everyone's here for the masters, but we got to pour back into what's the true master of this city, and that's the people.
that's the people, man.
That's the people.
That's the people.
When everybody else go home late or early April or late April, early May, we still here.
Still here.
Still doing the same thing.
That's a
So
mic drop.
that's it. So it's like, I think that's where my focus is getting to additional cities that are gonna be supportive of this city and that we can collaborate awesome. Right. So I'm not just taking myself, I'm taking Blunt Beginnings, I'm taking Augusta. I want to take everything to a city and say, hey, this is what we've done here. This is what we're seeing. Is it the same thing here? And I'm not, I'm going to set ground roots and the grass roots and I'm going to see is it the same thing
Mhm.
and compare it.
Yeah,
And from there, I'll be able to really understand, am I really helping or is it just kind of like a geographical area, a geographical situation? But then also I just want to keep growing as a person, bro.
yeah, yeah,
That's it. Like, I wanna really keep growing as a person. I wanna keep growing. I wanna have a staff one day where I wanna have a staff where people feel good about coming to work.
yeah,
I don't wanna have one of these businesses where people they regret making a decision with coming over here, but we paying their bills. I wanna do something major. I wanna make something happen, but I know that's gonna be the thing about staying connected to people like yourself,
mm,
right? Staying connected to people all throughout Augusta and all throughout Georgia.
yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna happen, bro. I'm proud of you, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm proud of you.
Man,
Well, thank you for being on the show.
for sure. I think you have.
You know it, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
know it.
If you'd like to visit us, you can visit us at www.bluntbeginnings.com or on either our Facebook or Instagram pages at Blunt Beginnings Inc. If you want to contact us by phone, our number is 762-246-9917.